Good evening and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Just wanted to just touch base. I was going through some stuff on earlier today, and I came across this particular point here, and I thought, that's very interesting. It is something that is worth actually discussing and actually looking at closely to understand one or two things and highlight one or two things. And I felt, oh, you know what? Actually, yeah, I'm actually going to raise that point. So now, one of the things I will say, sorry about that. One of the things that I will quickly say is this. Sorry. Yeah. So now, I've been the one talking all the time about the hospital and healthcare. The thing that they talked about, and channels, kudos to them, they talked about this. They're talking about Nigerian security implications of kidnapping on mental health. And they brought on an expert to speak about that. Now, it's the classic case of what we do in that contraption. We're very good at doing that. And by that you say, oh, what does it mean? What does it say now? What does it mean we're good at doing that? We're good at this. We're good at that. What I mean is this: we will say, okay, yes, something is going wrong. We start a process, but we never finish a process. So now, classic example: somebody is raped, they kidnapped, they are raped, and they have to pay ransom. All of those processes, the government will just come and show up and just do a camera. All the government are interested in doing is photo opportunities. They're not interested in your mental, your mental health long after the event has taken place. Listen closely to my words now. The federal government of Nigeria are not interested in your medical or mental health long after the trauma you've been through has taken place. They don't talk about that. You know why? We haven't got the medical capability in that nation to cater for the mental health of citizens. So whilst, again, this thing about talking, whilst she will come and talk about it as a medical practitioner, the fact of the matter is that if you go and look at, ask her, what role does the government play in her company? Or is it more likely that people will call themselves in themselves without a government referring them there? There's no government body that is working with her. There is no data by the government. If you ask the government today, how many people in that contraption have got mental issues? How many people, of the age of between the ages of 10 to 50 have got mental issues? And men, women, they can't give you that information. You know why? Because they don't have that data. Because they're not interested in medical history of the people that they're trying to enslave. Do you get it? These are all the things I'm trying to bring to your attention. Listen to what she has to say, and I'll interject a little bit. I'm not going to listen to the whole thing. Listen to what she's got to say here. So here we go. Let me listen to I'll just bring this on now. Listen.
Over their children's captivity.
In fact, let's go to the beginning. Sorry.
Consultant neuropsychiatrist Dr. Maimuna Kadiri joins us now. She's here in Lagos. It's great to see you, Dr. Kadiri.
Thank you.
So let's get into the minds of these parents for a minute. Can you describe the emotions that they could be going through and what coping mechanisms they could use or be employing to keep themselves sane during this anxious wait over their children's captivity?
Thank you very much for that question. I would say at this point, being a parent, I'm not in their shoes, but I can envisage what they are going through. Being an expert, talk to people that have been kidnapped before, talk to family members that have had relatives that have been kidnapped before. This is definitely not a good time for these parents. And the way the human mind and the way the human behavior plays out is that people want to go to where they feel connected, feel empowered, and feel supported. At this point in time, in the mind of any parent that the child is under hostage, for days now, even knowing fully well some of these students, they have lost their lives. They are definitely not in the right state of mind. The issues of not sleeping well, issues of not eating well, issues of anger, grief, because even the fact that...
So she's listed the issues of not sleeping well, anger, grief, and all the stuff. What steps have the government taken to actually have the government, for example, have medical practitioners such as this lady for each of the parents? Have they got them in place? Because in the UK, when a family goes through trauma, the government appoints for each family experts to help them go through this grief and all this trauma. And you see that the government, actually, our government, if you look at the federal government of Nigeria, they actually end up blaming the parents. They are trying to say the parents are trying to do something else. They're not helping the parents. They're not doing everything within the power to help the parents. They're trying to admonish them, to try and silence them and control them, instead of letting the parents actually go through this grief, in some cases, go through the pain, the worry, the fear, and help them through that process and do everything they can possibly do as a government to minimize, the suffering of their children. Medical help in that contraption is non-existent, and here's the evidence. But let's listen on to what she has to say. The medical practitioner has to say.
They are there, they have not yet been relieved. It's like a loss to them. So what I would encourage, with all the negative emotions, all the issues that they are dealing with now, for these parents, I would say and encourage them, rule number one, please, they shouldn't blame themselves for what has happened. Because it's very easy for them to start blaming themselves. Maybe if I didn't send my child to that school, I thought of sending him or her to this other place. Don't blame yourself. And they should also please not take the blame of other people on their shoulders, because it's very easy for people to be throwing a lot of words around now, blaming them. Maybe they should have done things differently. That is one thing they also shouldn't, even embrace. They should try as much as possible to eat and sleep. I know somebody may be saying maybe what I'm saying doesn't make sense, but they need that energy. They need to be able to stay alive to welcome their children back, so that they can be able to deal with the challenges that they are facing right now. But most importantly, they have to find that quiet space, create that time for themselves to be able to unpack their emotions. It's very difficult, it's very challenging. The fight, the flight, or even the freeze phase of when you are going through a stressful condition could be what is happening to them right now, which is exactly what everybody can feel when you are going through a traumatic experience.
But at every point of what she's saying here now, can you, as a citizen of that contraption, say the government is helping them? Can you? How many people has this government helped in the medical sense that have gone through rape, kidnapping, trauma, paying ransom? How have they helped? The worst they've done is put many of them, they made sure that this place are in IDP camps where the Fulani terrorists will come and then kill them. I'm just pointing out this. What I'm saying here is yet more proof of why we need to end contraption Nigeria. I'm just giving you evidence. Like I said, in the UK, if any family went through what the family of this woman, of these kids who've been abducted, and the government has done nothing to pay the ransom. They've done nothing the families are having to go and look for ransom money themselves, because the government they're saying they're not going to pay. And if you look at those kids, look at their background, and that tells you a lot. Makes you understand that the government are only interested in if you're from the Fulani stock. That's their interest. If you're not, and this is and you're saying we're one Nigeria. But anyway, let's do not detract from the main issue here. What I'm saying is that the federal government of Nigeria, here is the clearest evidence of why we need to break apart completely, dismantle it. They do not care for the mental health of those people whom they have failed to protect in the first place. They fail to protect those kids. The duty of the government is to provide safety and security for the citizens. That's their duty. Primary purpose of governance is providing safety and security for the citizens. They failed. And instead of trying to make sure they rectify that, pay ransom, find a way, do something to get those kids safely back to their parents. No, they start trying to say, "Oh, we're tough, talking tough," whereas we know that they're the same people paying getting AK-47 for Fulani herdsmen to go and kill, and they are giving them AK-47 whilst denying citizens the right to keep those AK-47s. But anyway, let's listen on to what she's saying. I'm just trying to make a point here that there is no mental help is non-existent in contract in Nigeria. That's a fact. Listen on.
They should be able to compose themselves.
Dr. Kadiri, if I don't mind, if I interject here, I want to ask you one question just before we do let you go. What sort of support do you feel like can be given to these parents and guardians that could help them actually get through this wait as they're waiting for the situation to change?
Very good question. Let me play that back again. Very good question. Watch this now. Listen. I like that question.
Before we do let you go, what sort of support do you feel like can be given to these parents and guardians that could help them actually get through this wait as they're waiting for the situation to change?
Right now, for anybody who is close to these parents as individuals, before we go into government, they shouldn't judge these parents. They should be able to listen to this patient non-judgmentally, not to the necessary preferred solution, because they may not even know what the solutions are, but listen to them to understand their pain, their grief, reach out to them frequently, maybe calls or visit them, and then of course come together as one to be able to know how to deal with these challenges. And when it comes to the issue with government, it's high time we have to do the right thing. Security is a major problem.
Let me play that bit back. Let me play it back. I'm not going to say anything, but you know what I'm only going to say. Let me play it back. Now, when it comes to the government, listen.
As one to be able to know how to deal with these challenges. And when it comes to the issue with government, it's high time we have to do the right thing.
It is high time we have to do the right thing. I wasn't in the interview. I just played it. I saw that clip, and she has just given, she's just borne out what I've been saying to you. And I've not even listened to the whole thing, but I thought, let me play this bit and tell us this is yet more reason. A government that fails to provide for and cater for the mental health of the citizens. Do you think that's a government worth being part of? Do you think so? Do you think so? I don't think so. And I'm sure neither do you. And that's yet one more evidence of why we must break up contract in Nigeria. We need to go for Yoruba Nation, Biafra Nation, Middle Belt, and other areas. The governance has failed. The mental health of those families should be their first priority, because the government is the ones who put the families in this case, in this situation. But they will be making excuses to not take any blame for anything that they've done. That's the normal modus operandi of this failed Fulani governance. We have had enough of this. Yoruba Nation will stand, Biafra Nation will stand, Middle Belt will stand. Let's listen on. You watch that, they probably stop that towards the end when she starts talking. Listen now.
Security is a major problem right now. But one thing that the African proverb have said is that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others. If security issues...
Dr. Kadiri, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. And
can you see how they caught her up? When she starts talking about the points, when she starts hitting home, the John Momo channel, who's pally with the government. No, it's enough. Yeah, cut her off. Don't let her talk. No. Cut. Ladies and gentlemen, the evidence is right there for you to see. I'll play to the end so you see that she caught her up where she was talking about the facts. Hear it again yourself. Listen.
Alone, but if you want to go far, go with others. If security issues...
Dr. Kadiri, I want to thank you so much for joining us today and shedding some light on the situation there. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
So there you go. That's yet more evidence of the governance failing to cater for the mental health of the citizens they swore on oath to serve. These citizens, group of parents who the government failed to protect. The duty of the government is to protect the citizens. Students, they're doing what the government wants them to do, to study, to be part of the society, and they get abducted. And the government does not deal with the mental health of the parents, does not try to address the issue, that the likely impact of the mental health issues that will flow from the fact that a kidnapping that should never have happened has happened and is impacting the life of the family daily. Instead, the government will be looking for excuses, ways to blame them. That's not a government we want to be part of. There is no medical help in place for people who have been held hostage, nor their families, nor any compensation, nothing. In this UK, when things happen, when deaths happen, people get compensation. Plain fact, they do. It's not that the idea is not that the money will replace the family. No, it's the government taking responsibility somewhere. This government, the Nigerian government is it's an entrapment. It's for Southerners, it's an entrapment. There is nothing for your healthcare. There's nothing for your safety nor your security. There's nothing for your comfort, i.e., roads, water, nothing. Your life is made to be worse than that of a cow in contraption Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please, when you get the podcast, please do share. Thanks for watching. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Just before I go, behind me, what do you think of the sign behind me? I'm going to move my head slightly. Let me see. It says Orile-Ede Yoruba, Gbogbo Awa Omo Yoruba Faramo. So that means that Yoruba Nation, all Yoruba people, we all support that. And that's the ODTVR movement, support our independence. And so there's so that's a poster that we're working on, that we're going to be putting out in the coming days across many areas. So please, if you can, do donate to us. I'll endeavor to put the account number, the UK account number here, and the PayPal. And if you do want to if you happen to be in Nigeria and you want to donate to us, reach out to us and we can find means for which you can do that donation in right there in Nigeria, or using Nigeria, payment forms of payment within Nigeria. So we will do that. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll be back with you all in due course. Thank you for watching, and talk soon. Goodbye. Please, as ever, subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube, share the broadcast, tell family and friends about it, make people aware. We need donations for posters in all of the 8 states, and that's what that poster behind me is about. It's about raising awareness about Yoruba Nation, and also the other nations as well, Biafra, Middle Belt, and all of that. All the other nations are looking. We're working towards getting UN to carry out a referendum on a particular date. I believe it's in sometime in August. Or possibly, I think it's August, the NINAS one. There are plans around that. So please, this is a very important thing. And also, a critical thing is we do not want any elections in 2023 because that constitution is a fraud. The whole thing is a fraud. Nigeria is a fraud from top to bottom. It's nothing. I'm not taking any pleasure in saying it, but it's the fact. From the time it was created to now, it's been about imposing misery and enslaving the millions and preventing millions from reaching their true potentials. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Thank you for watching. Please do share. As ever, if you can donate to the poster campaign that we're trying to do across 8 states, we very much welcome that. Also, we will be doing a rollout in terms of the promotion and in terms of the radio station. Oduduwa TV Radio, we want that on the airwaves, on ground in Nigeria. We need your support in that area. Donations are very much welcome on that front as well. And we will carry out that as we go along as well. Thank you for watching.